We just made these 2 t-shirts from design to print and press in under 30 minutes using the xTool Apparel Printer, and we'll show you how we did it right now. What is up? Welcome back. If you like to do it, build it, or make it,
So do we.
and we have new videos each week. Our Jamboree is right around the corner, so this week we'll be making some merch or some t-shirts for the Jamboree using our xTool Apparel Printer.
If you're not familiar with our Jamboree, it's going to be an action-packed weekend full of hands-on make-and-take workshops. We'll be using all of our fun tools. We'll be using our paints, our lasers, our printers, the Apparel Printer. So come and join us. Every hour there'll be a new session. We'll rotate through and make something at each station.
Very hands-on. Expect to get in there and get your hands dirty.
All the details will be in a link below.
Step 1, we need to make our t-shirt designs. So we already have our flyer, our ticket, and all of the other stuff that goes along with it. Design, we did it with like a color explosion.
And I thought it would be fun to start with xTool's Creative Space and use some of their AI capabilities and see what it comes up with. Maybe make it easier on ourselves. We already know we want to throw the fox in there. We know we want to throw some paint explosion in there, maybe a laser logo, something. So let's start in xTool's Creative Space and see what it gives us. The xTool Apparel Printer is going to use xTool's Creative Space, and this is the main opening page. So we're going to start a new project. And down here in the bottom left is the AI make. And I think it would be fun. Let's just see what it gives us.
And I definitely think you should drive with this AI because AI loves to mess with me and give me nightmare fuel.
I've seen some of your work. So there's so many different fun things in here. It really kind of, I didn't realize it had so many options, and it's a nice way to organize your thoughts. So this is vector engraving. So for laser cutting, these are great AI images for doing laser projects. This is 3D engraving. So if you want to do the 3D engraving like we can do with some of our other machines, yes. Then it goes into things like logo, and you can see there's different types of logos.
Those are
sports
good shirts.
Yeah, but I don't really think we're getting the theme of the Jamboree out of any of these. Like diving eagles, that's not really where we're at.
Flying high.
Text graphics, classic quote,
Oh,
coloring book.
flying high. That bear over there on the right is flying high.
Monochrome. So this would be all black and white type images, and that's certainly not what I'm looking for because I'm going ink explosion here. Cutaway, I think this is cool.
That's cool.
Greeting card, colorful sticker. And I thought about using this one. Maybe we can come back to it, but I know what I'm looking for, and I'm thinking we're somewhere over in, is it this area? Or I think back at the logo section. So here's some typography. 2 of my favorites as I've played with this is the handmade poster. I love this one. And the floral text, I've loved this one. And I really did the split monogram. Look at that,
yeah,
right there. And when I show you some of my history, I'll show you some stuff that we did with that one. Very cool. Colorful printing, 70s art, doodle. I haven't really done much with this.
Trippy.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. And look, they have foxes on them, so that's funny.
Yeah. They're speaking to me.
And the screen printing.
Oh, look at that. Huh.
So I think we are going to start back here in logo. We're just going to dial it back on some of these. And I'm going to do, let's see, the creative logo. Now we're going to add your pattern description. So this is what I'm going to put in. I wrote it down, so I had to think it through a little bit. We're going to do a colorful, realistic ink cloud with line drawn box profile in front of in front of
Ink cloud.
Oh, right. Colorful, realistic ink cloud with line drawn fox profile in front. Just period. That's it.
Yep.
And then I think this should say, obviously, K&G Jamboree.
Well, you got a separate text area?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
So it's going to give us the pattern, give us the text, and then center text or under text. I guess under, because I want the fox in the center. Do I need to say that up here? Colorful, realistic ink cloud with line drawn, fox profile. Maybe should it say in the centered? I'll just say in front with text underneath.
See what it gives you.
And then I'm going to do 4 of them. Now it is, because I'm doing 4 of them, I do have to use my credits. I've got a bunch of credits, and I bought a whole pack for like, I don't remember, $20 or $30 for like 1,000 credits. So yeah, they're super affordable. I'm going to use 24 of them to generate 4 images.
That's like 6 credits an image. That's not bad.
This is showing you some stuff I worked on before, the history. But we're gonna do this live and see what it's giving us.
Hey, I'm kind of impressed with how well it did the ink cloud.
The ink cloud looks good, but the fox isn't really where I want him to be.
And he's colored. This one an outline.
Wonder if I'd said,
ooh, I like that ink cloud. That was a good ink cloud, right?
What am I gonna, how do I keep the ink cloud? How could I change the wording for the fox with line drawn with fox silhouette?
Line art fox?
With line art fox profile in front. I'm gonna generate it again. Give me essentially the same thing.
I like the other ink clouds better. The first round of ink clouds.
They look great. The ink clouds look great. Let's go through some other things that I did. I did try some others. Creative logo, I felt it was getting me closest. I guess it ignored colorful. And this one, he's the nighttime fox. He's pretty cool. Now, this is floral text. I showed you this before. I love these. I just love the way this looks. And I know probably just, I'm a female and this really speaks to me. But I think a fun little K&G Jamboree t-shirt with the flowers on there. They're all colorful. I really like the way that looks. This is another creative logo. You can see your history. So you can see what I put in before under text. And I thought that was funny. It really did. No, I don't want to add it. It's trying to add it. I clicked on it, so it's going to add it to my canvas. Well, I should have left it because I think the cloud is kind of funny. I mean, it's literally taking what I'm asking. Clouds. I did some of the doodle art.
Oh, that's trippy.
Yeah, and it tried to put the cloud in there. That was not what I needed. The Datura Visions.
Ooh, his mind is foggy.
Right? He's really thinking about it. Visual arts. This is the sticker version. Those are kind of cute.
Cutesy.
Yes, they're cute. And it gave me the fox profile and the ink cloud, but wasn't really.
How they keep putting his head in the clouds.
Here's another sticker version. And these are cute, right?
Yeah, that's not bad.
I mean, look at that. AI generated those. I think it did a great job. That guy's missing his eyes. This guy's cute. Look at that.
Sleeping.
These are for some other things I did, but I will scroll down here. The split monogram.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah. I did a bunch of different versions of those.
Step 2, time to prepare our print. It's been about 4 or 5 days since we had this guy running, so we're gonna need to do a couple of cleanings and a little bit of maintenance before we get going.
Right, I thought it would be great to just kind of show you exactly what we do when we get ready to print using the Apparel Printer. Once it powers on, it automatically runs a cleaning process that takes about 1 minute. And when it's complete with that, you'll see it run a test print. And here, since ours is sat for a few days, we're going to do a second cleaning process and just double check that the white ink looks good. The color ink looks great.
Step 3, we're going to set all of our print options.
I thought I would show you in Creative Space the different option settings that you could choose from so that you can see some of the cool features that it has, including the mock-ups. Well, we had fun creating some AI logos. Garrett created a logo in Photoshop that really added all the features and components that we wanted to kind of represent our brand. So I have that loaded here, and I wanted to show you what's next for apparel printing. From here, truly, I can just say print, but I want to show you some of the features over here. So if I go into the adjust features, I can show you some of the different alternatives or options that you have for printing. So it defaults to 8-pass or 720 by 1200. This is how detailed and how many ink droplets are put down. So how much color is really in your print. And so you can go a little bit lower, you can go a little bit higher. But so far, 8 has been great for everything that I've done. There's white ink fill. So you can choose whether you want to put ink over the whole image or only the object fill, which is what we're doing. It's only going to add ink behind where, white ink behind where our color ink objects are. So we'll leave that setting. I'm not really that familiar with feather percent here, but it does give you a little how to make the pattern fade. So the higher the feather value, the better the transition is between each line of the printed image. So you can see here the individual, go back. You can see the lines or how it really transitions really well between those colors. So of course, because we have this ink splatter, we definitely want to keep feather at 100%. That's the default value. White ink reduction, this is, like I said, it'll print the ink first and then it'll add the white in the back. You can bring your white ink in a little bit just to make sure that it doesn't bleed over the colored inks. But 0 will work well for us. Well, I'll show you. We'll do a 0.5. Here's a little tip that I found with this software. It won't let you just put 0.5 in there. But you can put 5, arrow over, and then put the point, and now it'll let you do 0.5. That's a little xTool Creative Space trick for you. Yeah. We'll leave it at bi-directional, color ink 100%, white ink defaults to 75%. I personally like to keep it at 100% because I have so much color here, and I know I have some white, which you can't see yet, but I'm going to show you. I'm going to leave the white ink at 100%. And then you always want to leave mirror printing on because you do need to print it upside down, where it'll print the color first, then white, then you add the glue.
So it goes on the transfer film face down.
Yes, on the transfer film face down. That's what mirror printing does. And you'll see that in the next screen when I click print. But now what I really want to show you is one of the coolest little features here, the mock-ups. So xTool gives you different types of t-shirt mock-ups and what your logo will look like and how it will fit on different types of t-shirts. You can see it on a model and you can adjust your print here. I'm going to put it on his shirt and maybe I need it just a little bit bigger. I can expand it and say, okay, that looks a little bit nicer on his shirt. But again, you really can't see all of the logo. What you can't see is that there's a white fox in there. So I can change the color of his t-shirt to a black t-shirt. And now you can see the white fox. Isn't that cool? And then you can change it to really any color because I had done it on some like a navy blue shirt and what it would look like what other color shirts should we offer? You can just test all of those things out. Now, I also consider doing this with a little like pocket or breast logo and then the full logo on the back of the shirt. These mock-ups or these flat lays up here in the upper left corner, you can see this little icon here is showing you that there's multiple versions or multiple images in there. So here I can change this to the back of the t-shirt. And now we're looking at the back of the shirt. I can change the size from large, extra large, small, because the logo that we have might be too big for a small shirt. So I might need to adjust that a little bit for maybe a small shirt if I were doing the back or I'm gonna put this back to the front. And then I can also change the color of the shirt. So I'm gonna put it back on the black shirt. And another great feature of this is I can turn around and download the mock-up. So all of the mock-ups that I do, whether I'm using the model or I'm just using the flat lays, I can export them with my logo on them and use it in my marketing or add it to my Shopify store. I'll have the image and the mock-up right there.
That was going to be my next question. So if I can download those mock-ups, can I use them to advertise my products?
Yes, yes you can. And then there's a bunch more. So for the t-shirts, if you hit expand, you'll see different models. I liked this version right here where you added the model and she's got her little jacket on and you can see the K&G. Now I do need to change the color of her shirt again so that you can really see the Fox logo.
Just peeking at us from her overshirt.
And yeah, it's a little too big for her shirt because she's probably wearing a size small. And then apply the scaling. So when I say, okay, I've changed the size of my logo a couple of times, I can click apply scaling and it will automatically change. I don't know if you could see it back there. It actually changed the size of the image on my artboard. And I can go right from here and say print current design. I can download it as I stated. Let me show you a couple of other things before we leave out of here. You can do the hoodies and sweaters, give you a little gist of all the different models are for that one. And then of course, some fun bags and some merch. So I did, and you can change the color of these as well. So here's a little tote bag and I can change the color to black. You can tilt it a little. And now I have a great mock-up design of what our logo would look like on a tote bag. So I've already applied the scaling for the other shirt. I had it at 10.5 on the t-shirt for the girl with the jean jacket. You can see that it adjusted the width to 9.416 for a smaller size shirt. So that's something to think about. I can't just print 100 of these. I do need to think about different logo sizes for different size shirts.
Step 4, time to print. All of our settings are set, our ink levels are set. Now it's time to send it to the printer.
From here, we're going to click print. And just like if you were using this with your laser, it is going to give you a quick preview. And because we left mirror on, you can now see that this is backwards. So K&G is actually printed backwards. And this is how it's going to print so that it lays the ink, the white, and then applies the glue. One of the cons with this machine is that you do have to use the proprietary films and inks. And I can see in the future it could be a challenge for me. If I run out of film, I'm going to want to have it tomorrow because most likely I've got a rush job and you'll have to order it and wait for it to come in. So I think we've already got 2 on hand. And when this one runs out, I'll go ahead and order the next one and have it ready to go.
But what's great about that is while we are talking, it's done the print and it's already applied the glue and it's moved it into the baking. Step 5, time for the old printing press. Our image looks great. We're ready to go. We have a t-shirt.
The only prep you really need to do is make sure that you lint roll any t-shirt before pressing. You really don't want to have any kind of lint or cat hair in our case between the t-shirt and the transfer. And then I do a quick pre-press. I put it on the bed, lay it down, just to make sure there's no wrinkles in there. All right, slide it back. We're gonna print these or press these at 315 for 15 seconds. So 15-second pre-press. Oh.
I don't need a full pre-press.
No, you don't. A couple of tips for t-shirts if you have never done t-shirts before. Go ahead and do this little quick fold here from side to side so you know exactly where the center is. And then really you're just gonna put like 3 or 4 fingers there. Garrett does like 3 fingers, I do like 4.
You got tiny hands.
And then just line it up. It's really just kind of eyeballing this center crease that he put in there. Not down the whole image, just a little bit at the top, maybe a little bit at the bottom. And make sure it's set.
It's just a 15-second press. In that 15 seconds, we can tell you that you could print on anything. Canvas, cotton, polyester,
denim, leather. And now, while we did in a previous video tell you that DTF, you typically only want to do this on soft goods. You can DTF on wood and metals. We've done that before and it looks great.
It's a cold peel, so I'm going to set that aside for a second, and our second print should be done. I'll grab that and pre-press this. Hot off the presses, we got our second one ready to go.
This is good because you know what? We didn't actually show you. This does have this color bar along the side. You do need to cut that off because it does have glue and everything on it, and it will press right to your t-shirt if you don't cut that off.
We just give it a trim.
Yeah, nothing special. Just cut it with some scissors straight down the side.
Again, I'm just looking for the center of this image, just to give me a nice eyeball.
Yeah, pinch the top, pinch the bottom.
3 to 4 inches from the top.
I usually make sure that the ribbing on the top of your shirt is off of my base plate there, so that it presses nice and flat and even.
And this one's just about ready to come off.
Yeah, I just do a little shake sometimes while it's doing its next piece, and you can. Ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's keep a little eye on it. These got little pieces. I got to babysit some of these little paint pieces a little bit.
All right. We'll set this one aside, and now we do a second press, just to make sure when you pulled up that transfer sheet, if anything might have come with it or unstuck. This will just make sure everything sticks back down.
We're going to cover it with a little Teflon sheet this time.
Another 15 seconds.
And I will sometimes, while that's printing for the second press, I go ahead and do this and cool it. You kind of know when it's cool enough because when I'm
cool down fairly quick,
it starts to peel. You can see kind of already starting to come off a little bit.
There you go. This one's done already. All right, I'll lay this one down. Yeah, it's already coming off.
Yeah.
Just by shaking it. Shake around, give it a little jiggle, give it a little wiggle.
I don't want you to burn yourself. You're all up under there.
I enjoy the heat. It's been known alive. So my pros are that I don't need to know any rip software. I just load my image, set it to the size that I want. I really like that I can see what it looks like on, what do you call that? A model or a mock-up before I do it, because there are so many times I go too big in I have my logo from armpit to armpit on my shirts. Ask Kid. It happens a lot. So it's good to see it on something before I print it. And then I really enjoy that once it goes to the printer, I don't have to touch it again until it drops out of the bottom, ready to press.
Right. That is my biggest pro. I've done the DTF. I've done the shaking of the glue and putting it in the heater. And I love that I can just hit print. And then I don't touch it again until it comes out of the bottom, ready to go, ready to be pressed. And that is it. And I love that. Now I know there are some folks that are frustrated that you have to use
proprietary.
Oh, ink. Put it right down. Yes. Let me do this again. Right?
No, just do it.
So I know that folks are a little frustrated that you have to use proprietary inks and proprietary film, but if I can just load that image and hit print and watch it track all the way through because it has the holes on the side, I am all for it.
It's just a set and forget kind of thing.
And it is comparably priced, so that's a good thing too.
You can line them up, you can batch them out. I could say print 10 of these and walk away, come back and I have a stack of 10 at the bottom. That is great.
I'm loving it. So far, I am really loving this printer. I'm excited to do more.
I originally thought we should do these t-shirts. To me, somewhere around 25 to 50 is where you would leave DTF and go to screen printing. But something like this ink cloud here, with all these colors, I am not sure that you could pull this off with a screen print. It would probably be like 15 screens, custom color inks.
Yeah, it's really going to add to the cost.
Yeah, I don't think it would be, I was going to say, worth the cost to go to screen printing.
All right.
Happy with these. 2 down, 98 to go.
We could batch them up, and we got plenty of time to work on these t-shirts.
Well, you saw how fast these two went. And now once everything's loaded, I could just hit print again from here. I can even say how many I want to print. So I'm about out of time. I got 98 shirts to go make. You got something to do. And then we will see you on Sunday where we'll talk about how we did it, built it, made it. And then we'll see you on Tuesday for Test Cut Tuesday. Big thanks to all of our patrons. We love you guys. That is the best way to support this channel. Join us over on Patreon for some after shows, extra content, free files, early access to the Jamboree tickets.
Yes, Jamboree. One more thing. Jamboree tickets go on sale for everyone April 1st. So go grab yours. It's going to be a whole fun weekend. You're going to build your own goodie bag. Every station you go to, you're going to make something.
Build your own goodie bag.